be trying out the Sigma Dry and Shape Spa. This is a 3-in-1 product that cleans, dries, and reshapes your brushes back into their original form. The reshaping aspect is really what pushed me to try this brush spa out, because I have had so many brushes lose their shape over the years just from use and washing all the time, and a lot of them do have bristles knocked out of place. So I think if this actually works, I can totally see myself using it all the time. After trying it out, I'm gonna evaluate the Sigma Dry and Shape Spa on how well it actually worked and if it actually restored my brushes to their original glory. You basically take this apart when washing the brushes, like this. Oh. Oh my God. How am I gonna get it back together? Why did I do that? Oh, there we go. Just like the Sigma brush cleaning mat, each section is for a particular kind of brush. So we have eye brushes and face brushes. After you're done washing, you put your brushes in these slots to dry overnight. And these elastic thingies at the bottom are where the reshaping happens. So you actually slide the brush hairs into here and it's supposed to form them back into their original shape. This is the wash face side. We're gonna start off with the bigger face brushes first. This brush already looks clean. I think we might be done. Okay, let's move on to our next brush. My blush. This is a blush brush. Oh my God, this looks like chocolate milk. That's so gross. Some of these brushes are really, really cheap, and I got them at like the drugstore, and I can see people being like, why not just replace the brushes that have the messed up bristles? I don't know, I just feel like they still work really well. It's just the shape that needs improvement. If the shape was just back to normal, I wouldn't throw it away. Since I tried the Sigma brush cleaning mat in another video, I really liked it. I kept using it, and that's what I use to this day. The only thing the Sigma mat is missing is the reshaping part that this brush spa has, so I can see why people might want to go for this one over the mat. Two. Okay. Oh my God, this is probably my favorite brush. This is so stupid. They're makeup brushes. I love this brush. The problem is that it is getting wider and wider, which isn't helpful when you're applying blush and you want it in a very like concentrated area. So if there's any brush that I want this thing to save, it's this one. I love this brush. All right, now we can move on to some eyeshadow brushes. So let's move on to the eye section. Right here. I forgot to mention this before, but the Dry and Shape doesn't have any reshaping band section for smaller eye brushes like this. It's just for the bigger face brushes. That kind of sucks because personally, my eye brushes are just some of the worst looking brushes I own. Just so you know, it might affect your decision on whether or not you want to buy it. People are gonna be like, why is your highlighter brush covered in black stuff? I dipped it in eyeshadow to make it just like a little bit more dirty. You can see the dirt and grime more obviously than you can with a highlighter. My highlighter brush is finally clean. I also totally forgot we have another brush to wash, and it's this one, my other highlighter brush. These two are very similar in shape and size. They both have bristles that definitely need some help. I am going to actually wash this one by hand and put this one in the brush spa so we can kind of have a little side-by-side comparison, see which one looks better in the end. So let's start putting these brushes into the actual Dry and Shape. The eye brushes actually go on the inside rings, so these little tiny rings right here fit most eye brushes, I'm assuming, and then the outside rings are for bigger face brushes. Let's tuck these two in. That's weird. Let's just put them in. Okay, so here's how this process goes. So I'm gonna pull open one of these little stretchy bands and like tuck the handle in. Oh my God, how am I gonna do this? I like need two other hands. How did I? Oh, okay, I got it, perfect, we're good. So I have my one brush in there and then we're just gonna push down. Pull on this end, and you wanna pull until your brush head is completely inside of the shaping band. Just like that. That looks good to me. And the last brush I'm putting in is my blush brush. So let's put this one in. Am I running out of space? No, one of these medium-sized ones should be okay. All right. Okay, all of my brushes are in the dry and shape where they need to be, but I wanted to mention one thing. It seemed kind of weird to me that they wanted me to put my wet brushes into these elastic fabric bands. That just sounds like it would breed a lot of like bacteria or mold or something. But then I read this on their website. They responded to a comment asking the same question I'm asking right now, and it says, the dry and shape bands are made with a special moisture wicking breathable elastic. With this material, the bristles dry quicker and the band will not mold over time due to moisture. So in case you were worried about it like I was, I think it'll be fine. I think. Now I'm gonna leave these brushes to dry overnight. I'm gonna leave the brush that I dried by hand to dry overnight, and we're gonna come back tomorrow and see if this thing actually is worth the money. It's the next day, which means my brushes should be dry in the Sigma Dry and Shape Brush Spa. I'm really excited to see how it actually shaped these outside brushes. So let's get to opening, pulling out. Let's just take them out. These weren't actually reshaped. They were just stuck in here to dry. So my eye brushes look really good. They look clean, they feel soft, and they actually smell good from that brush shampoo. But I wish there was a section to kind of reshape your eye brushes, not just your face brushes, because these do have a few bristles that are still like wonky and out of place. So that kind of sucks, but they look great. I'm happy with them. Now it's time for the good stuff. Now we actually get to see if these bands did anything to reshape my face brushes. Let's go for the big one. Let's go for my actual blush brush. It's happening. There it is. It actually looks exactly the same as when I first bought it. That's so weird. I know it's like gonna loosen up the more I use it, but that's crazy. When I put it in there, it was literally like, all the bristles were all over the place. So this looks really good. Okay, let's do my big brush right here. This one also looks really good. I see maybe 1 or 2 bristles that still kind of won't get back to where they belong, but it looks great. Oh my God, look. It actually turned it back to its original size. I think this brush was widening, I guess, over time. Like the bristles were just getting further and further apart because of how much I use it. I feel like all the bristles look back to being compact and right where they need to be, so that's good. I was kind of skeptical about how they were gonna dry in these bands, but they definitely all feel dry so far. Okay, last brush. So just by looking at it, I do see bristles sticking out just slightly right here. So it didn't reshape every single bristle, but it still looks really good. So now let's compare the brush that I left in the brush spa to the brush that I washed by hand and let air dry, and see if there are any differences between them. The one that didn't go into the reshaping band does have a lot more bristles sticking out in a bunch of odd places, and it definitely looks like it looks worn. It looks a bit haggard compared to this one. I feel like this one definitely looks like I could have just bought it today, whereas this one looks like I've been using it for a while, which I definitely have. Cleaning the brushes is also a part of the Sigma Dry and Shape, so I'm gonna take each one of the brushes and swirl them on this paper towel to make sure that it actually got all of that makeup out of my brushes. This thing actually cleaned my brushes really well. I have been inspecting this paper towel for like 5 minutes now, just trying to find something, and I cannot see anything with my naked eyes. So I think it did a really good job of actually deep cleaning my brushes, which is great. So is the Sigma Dry and Shape Spa actually worth it? I think this product is very self-explanatory and easy to use. You don't need like a whole list of instructions for you to figure it out. It's super user-friendly. And on top of that, it did what it said it was gonna do. Like, it restored my brushes to how they used to look, and it made them look a lot better, they're cleaner, and they look ready for me to destroy all over again. Because this is a pricier product, I do feel like it's worth investing in if you have like higher end brushes that you really wanna maintain. You wanna make sure that you extend the life of those brushes. But even for someone like me who has nothing but cheap brushes from the drugstore, this thing actually works, and for that I think it's totally worth it.